Alright guys, I thought I'd put together a quick video to show you my TV setup. So there's my television, and below it you can see I've got a Shuttle XPC with a keyboard and mouse. I don't really use the keyboard and mouse unless I'm actually logging into it, but the Shuttle itself has all of my content on it and it works pretty well. So what I've done first and foremost, I've got two remotes. So there's this one here that came with my LG TV. I only use this to turn on the TV, like that. And then I put it back down and I forget about it because I bought this $15 remote from Hong Kong. It's a Windows CE type remote, or not CE, but Windows MCE, I think it's called. It's for Media Center. Anyways, you can map the keys to it. I haven't done any of that. I just use it right out of the box. So, as you can see, I turned on the TV, and something's playing here. This is the Food Network, and so with my remote here, I can change channels. Oh, I got to be pointing at it, obviously. So I can go over to the Do-It-Yourself network. The next one up is the Synergy, which is a movie channel. We'll talk about this a little bit later. But this is kind of like just watching real TV. You know, you change your channels. When you hit the center button, you get a guide that shows you what's on, right? And you can navigate through that or whatever. But let's say I'm bored of this. I can simply hit the stop button. And I'm now into XBMC. So this is kind of like what you guys are using for Plex, I guess, but I'm using XBMC. There are different programs that you can install. You can map to your music, your TV shows, and your movies, and of course, the weather. So the first thing here on weather, when you click it, bang, it brings you the local forecast, 7-day forecast. No big deal, but it kind of gives you like a Netflix kind of look and feel. Speaking of which, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but for now, if I go to my movies, for instance, you'll notice that the latest editions have been put up at the top there. And if I click on movies, or I could select one of those ones that were at the top. If I click on movies, it now brings me to a movies page with the synopsis and all that stuff. I can go up and select by genre, by year. So if I say show me everything from 2012, for instance, there we go. There's the Born Legacy and Brave and whatnot. So it's pretty cool because it runs on a PC, so it's nice and quick and speedy. And the same thing goes with TV shows. If I back out of this and head into my TV shows, it's right there as well, right? So I can just go up to the top and select the latest ones. I don't know if you guys can see that, but anyways, if I click on TV shows, it brings me into my TV shows. So here's Auction Hunters and Archer and Antiques Roadshow, whatever it is that you're into. So the key to all of this, of course, is thanks to someone who will remain nameless for the purpose of this video. It's all being automated. So what I've done is I've got Sickbeard running. I told it all the shows that I want. It puts it into the folders that I've created. So if we actually go to TV shows here and I head up to the top, and what we're going to do is we're going to look for the files themselves so you can actually see my folder structure. So remember we were watching TV a second ago, and I said, oh, we're on the Food Network. Oh, we're on the DIY network, right? So there's my food channel right there. And then I've got DIY channel over here. So what I've done is I've created these folders to mimic the channels that I want, and I've told Sickbeard to dump all of the programs that I want in these channels into these appropriate folders, right? Then, when we go to programs here, XBMC has a bunch of add-ons that you can install. They're third-party for the most part, and this one third-party add-on that's really cool is the Pseudo TV. So it knows where my folders are. Sickbeard is dumping all the content into those folders, and I've told it create channels out of these folders. So when I hit go, it updates the channel listing and randomly throws content from those channels across. Right, so that we can then see, okay, we're watching the National Geographic channel or whatever channel we're on. Here's a Discovery channel with Mythbusters. I can just keep changing channels, and look, I've created movie channels. And in the movie channels, I've told it by genre. So Star HD is anything from 2011 and 2012. Anything older than that will not play on this channel. If I go to Next channel, we're on BBC. Fox HD, so this is all Fox programming that I put together there. Action Mask, so this is only action movies, all day, all long. And this is basically just using the library tags, like the genres or whatever. So what I've done in addition to this, just to give it a better look and feel and to make it more realistic, here's my my Extreme channel. When shows end, right, I've told it to play a commercial. So I've actually downloaded commercials that I like and added them to this, so I only see commercials that I'm interested in. And what I've also done is after every commercial, I have it play a station ID. So this one here is for the Extreme channel. I downloaded this. Some guy had created one. And you can see the logo in the bottom right hand corner. That's also just an image file that I'm telling it to overlay on each channel. So look at that. See? This is the Extreme channel. So you know that you're watching the Extreme channel. For instance, if I go to the first channel, it might be a little bit easier to recognize, but if I do it on the first channel here, we're on the Food Network, right? So, and you'll notice down in the bottom right, there's that station logo that I put in. And if I hit next, here's a little Food Network station identifier. Right, so these are just downloaded off the web, and I've basically told it to periodically play, like after every episode of something that I'm watching, to play an ad and a station identifier. And again, it's just ads that I like that I've put in there. And I've created an ad channel for adults, an ad channel for kids, so I can segregate all of the information. And then when you're using your channels, you just tell it, hey, I want you to use the kids ad channel or the adult ad channel. And so again, you're basically watching TV at this point the way that you want. And when you're done, nothing's on, let's say, although there's always something on because it's all my content. But whenever you're done watching TV and you say, hey, I actually want to watch something in particular, you simply hit stop, and then you come down to your TV shows or your movies and you launch it from here. Now, in the unlikely event where you still can't find anything, the beauty of this remote here is that there's a green button right there. It says, I don't know if you can actually make it out on this little camera that I'm using, but the green button says start. And because this is a Windows PC, when I hit start, what I've got it doing is, it takes a little bit of time to load up, but what it does is, unless I wasn't pointing properly, yeah, here you go. It loads up Windows Media Player. Now, big deal, Windows Media Player, right? Because all that really does is look at the local content and index it. However, Windows Media Player has a tie-in to Netflix. If you have a Netflix account, you can add, Netflix as part of your library. So if ever I'm not watching anything on XBMC or through my pseudo channels, right, my pseudo TV channels, I can come in here and press the green button and bang, automatically be taken to, my Netflix account and start watching stuff off Netflix. And of course, when I'm done, I just hit close on my remote, and bang, I'm brought back over here. The remote cost me 15 bucks. Took forever to get here because it's from Hong Kong, but it makes it really easy for Annalisa to use. And this little round thing here acts as a mouse. So I don't know if, let me get to a screen that's less busy here. Let's go to here, videos. Now watch when I actually press that round thing, look, I can move that mouse over there. Right? So if ever something happens where the XBMC crashes and we're back to Windows, because it's really just a Windows PC, you can use the mouse here to move the mouse around, and then there's a button here for left click and right click on the mouse. So what I've done is on the actual, well, here I'll show you. Let me close out of this. There you go. So now we're on my desktop, right? And on the Windows desktop, you see I can move my mouse around. What I've done is I've created this one icon right up here called XBMC. And so all she has to do is press the left click twice, so she can double click that, and then boom, we're firing back into XBMC. There we are. It's ready to go. And that's my TV setup, fully automated, and then the pseudo TV obviously with all of the channels. And, you know, of course, XBMC powering all of this with the IMDb information. All right, man, take it easy.